guys. I'm on the way to the gym right now. I have work after that, so I'm kind of on the way to work, but let me fix this real quick. Anyway, there's a concert going on tonight at my job, so I'm going to be working that concert. That should be pretty cool. But yeah, the topic for this video is kind of a nerdy one, but it is why Nintendo is and always will be the best video game manufacturer. And I know a lot of you Xbox boys, a lot of you PlayStation pussies are gonna say, oh, you're gay, you play Nintendo, blah, 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 blah. Let me give you one word: innovation. Tell me one thing that Xbox or PlayStation has innovated in their entire existence. I'll give you a second. Nothing? Oh, they've done nothing different for the entirety of their lifespan. And you could say, oh, well, their formula's already perfect. They don't need to change anything. And that's not crazy to say that. However, innovation is key. And if you want to talk innovation, that is Nintendo. Nintendo has been innovating forever. They started as a playing card company, and now they are, I actually don't know if they're the biggest, but they are one of the biggest franchises in the world in terms of video games. And, you know, they created Pokemon, which is the highest grossing video game franchise ever, which is crazy. Pokemon is, everybody knows Pokemon. Pokemon is the biggest thing ever. But aside from that, I'm just talking hardware specifically. So Nintendo started like all the other consoles. It was just a gamepad and you played on a television. And it stayed like that for a while until the N64. And on the N64, they started making 3D games with polygons. Do you know how revolutionary that was? Creating three-dimensional games where you can move in all three directions seamlessly. That was unheard of. That is one of the greatest innovations of all time. Pushing forward, the GameCube didn't change much. However, what they did change was the handheld video game space. Whenever they created the Game Boy, nothing could compete with the Game Boy. The Game Boy was legendary. Oh, you're in the car? You can play a game. You're on a plane? You can play a game. You're at school? You can play a game. You're anywhere? You can play a game. That is one of the most legendary innovations of all time, is to be able to take games on the go. And then they took that and created the DS, further innovating with a touchscreen. A touchscreen, you can touch it and it does stuff. That is crazy. Do you know that the DS came out before the iPhone? Fun fact, it did. Nintendo was making touchscreen devices before Apple. Anyway, even further, let's go to the greatest innovation of all time, the Wii. Everybody had a Wii. The Wii was the best console ever created, and that's not crazy to say that. No one else could mimic the motion controls like Nintendo did. Xbox tried. Xbox tried to do the Kinect, didn't work, it was a failure. Literally no company could even compete with Nintendo when it came to innovation, or in this case, motion controls. I think every single person watching this has played Wii Sports before, and they will say it was one of the most legendary games of all time. It literally came with the console. Most people who bought a Wii didn't even have to pay for Wii Sports, and it's one of the most legendary games of all time. Really think about that. When has Xbox or PlayStation made a game that came with the console that was legendary? There's one, and it's the most recent PlayStation game. It's called like Astrobot. I I've never played that game, but apparently it is really good. And now, the Wii U was kind of a letdown. They tried to innovate with that gamepad, and it was almost like the older brother of the Switch. Whenever the Switch came out, the fact that you can take it on the go and then dock it and play on your TV with the same device, that is genius. That is so fucking smart. And while the Nintendo Switch wasn't very powerful, the idea and the base was there. So now, just a couple weeks ago, the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, and it is literally the perfect version of the Switch. Still with all the mobile capability, way better graphics, way better processing power, and I mean, if you've seen any footage of Mario Kart World, it looks insane. It's one of the best games Nintendo's put out in a very long time. And they're able to do that because there's so much more computing capability on the new Switch. Even further, the Joy-Cons, the detachable Joy-Cons, that is a crazy innovation that nobody has ever done. It originated with the Wii remote, but they literally made it into this perfect thing that fits amazingly in your hand, that does everything you want it to do. And on the new Switch 2, you can use it as a mouse. Huh? You can literally just take it, seamlessly put it down, face down, and it is a perfectly, well-working mouse. So you can literally be using one hand to move around, so let's say you're playing an FPS game, you can move around with the left using a joystick, because everyone knows that moving with a joystick feels better than a keyboard. So you can literally move with a joystick and aim with a mouse. That is one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life, and I really want one. I've been looking everywhere to try and get one, but they're sold out literally everywhere. I'm going to try to go to Walmart today to see if they have any in stock or see when they'll get more in stock, but oh my god, it is crazy. The games look so good. The new controllers are, the Nintendo Switch was already, such a good console, and somehow they made it, 20 times better by just changing little things, making the graphics better, making it run better. If you've ever played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that game was not made for the original Switch. It had a lot of trouble running. Look up some footage of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet running on the Nintendo Switch 2. Oh my god, it's seamless. It looks absolutely beautiful. It makes me want to replay that game just to have the better graphics and have it not lag all the time. It's truly outstanding that a handheld device can have that much computing power. Hold on, my sister's calling me. Alright, I'm at the gym now. I was on the phone with my sister. She just got a new boyfriend. But, like I was saying, Nintendo's the GOAT, king of innovation. No other company can even compete with them when it comes to innovation because the other companies don't innovate. PlayStation has been doing the same thing forever. They tried to do the VR thing, failed. Xbox, they tried to do Kinect, failed. Xbox right now, they just said they're releasing a handheld. We'll see how that does. But, yeah, that's just me glazing Nintendo for 10 minutes. But I will talk to y'all later.